experience-wise and vocal-wise on that back row for Oklahoma, Nick.
Yeah, you know, she started the season extremely hot. I mean, I think we mentioned earlier, one goal from open play. And as a goalkeeper, that's the only thing you really can ask for. You know, with penalties, you really can't help those, but she is off to a fantastic start this year.
Now, bear in mind, as we roll along and Stetson gets the opening touch, the sun setting off to the west, and it's really in the eyes of the keeper back in that east goal. So just keep an eye on Ashley Wise back there. She'll be battling the sun, along with probably a few shots coming from the Sooners tonight. Opening tackle, a takeaway there by Nevaeh Johnson, the transfer from LSU for Oklahoma. There's Johnson trying to step in front of that one. And back and forth it goes. Annika Seam in the mix over there, redshirt junior for the Hatters. This is Alexander peeling it away for Stetson, trying to send the ball across, and it ricochets out of bounds. It'll be a quick corner kick coming for the Hatters as that bounded off Oklahoma's Cassie Clifton there. Slowly approaching it is Annika Seam, the redshirt junior from Milwaukee. Had the game-winning goal in the opener for the Hatters. It came with 20 seconds left in regulation. Just snuck it in and got that victory. This one flutters a little bit. Trying to get to it was Reynolds. And it squares out of bounds for an Oklahoma throw-in. Oklahoma just so stingy back there, and we'll see Alexis Washington a good deal on the attack, but she's also a very able defender, as you saw there, Nick.
Yeah, she's very willing to track back and kind of help her D out, but she's also super potent in front of goal, so, you know, we're excited to kind of see what she's going to bring tonight.
Hatters trying to gain some organization. Stella Comana is a redshirt freshman from San Diego. A lot of youth on this roster when you have a coaching change. Kelly Gendy wearing number 11, the holding midfielder. This ball served in toward Gendy. She's got good size in there at about 5'11". Nice one touch, and Komama has it blocked away from her by Meredith King of Oklahoma. So a couple of dangerous looks already for the Hatters on a corner cross, and then some good penetration inside the Oklahoma 18 box. See that beautiful little touch and an early confrontation in there for Duffy to have to take care of.
Yeah, it's an excellent start for the Hatters in this game. They've already got a corner and a good shot on goal. So on their perspective, they're having a great start. But if you're the Sooners and you know that you haven't had a lot of shots on goal faced, that's an excellent first save for Duffy in the first few minutes. That's definitely going to give her some confidence to finish out the game.
You know, when we spoke with Matt Mott earlier this week, said you're not concerned that Duffy has not been under heavy fire back there. It's good that your defense just hasn't allowed many looks. But as you said, maybe an early test gets her super focused into this one.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times when as you're a goalkeeper and you don't have those shots on goal, you kind of just stand back there. You know, you're kind of just kicking around, talking to your defense. So the fact that she can get that early save is going to help her kind of see this game out.
Hatters circle this one back to the back row. Cameron Wilson plays it out. She's the leader in minutes on this Stetson team. That one bounds off of Leonie Weber. And Alexis Washington trying to reach it for Oklahoma, instead guided out of bounds by Kylie Overstreet. And a quick throw in here, Meredith King. Sooners not wasting much time on these quick throw-ins. Washington marked by Komana. Sends it low across, and it spills right into the lap of Ashley Wise. There's the second-year Sooner head coach, Matt Mott. And, you know, we talked with him this week. Feels like his team's in a great situation. And the 10 days off, really important for them, Nick. What were some of the things that they felt like they got done over that 10-day span?
You know, he said when they came back with practice on Sunday, it was their best practice he thinks he's had as a Sooner. So they really got to do a lot over this 10-day break. And he said they were working on the things that they could control. So they were trying to get more clinical in front of goal. They have outshot every team they faced this year. So the fact that they can just be a little bit better in front of goal, that was their big key in these 10 days off.
Got to work on some situational things, 7-minute stretches to close games in particular, and had a very good week. This one skims all the way back and touched last into the goal by Sophia Green, who is such a dangerous scorer coming in as a transfer from Omaha. And she got her first goal as a Sooner in their win over Oral Roberts, just kind of lurking back there by the goal. And Matt Mott said once she gets a goal as she did against Oral Roberts, it might pull the lid off for this graduate transfer who was the Summit League Offensive Player of the Year last year at Omaha.
And you can just see her right there. She is just so thankful to get these chances in front of goal. I mean, as a striker right there, there's nothing you can do. The goalkeeper's put in a bad position. And so the only thing she had to do is just kind of stick a foot out. Beautiful finish. And so goals in back-to-back games is going to boost up her confidence.
See, it actually touched a Stetson player back there in the box, but Green just providing a dangerous presence. Alexis Washington up to take this for Oklahoma. Taken right back away by Alyssa Stevens, freshman from St. Louis is Stevens. And she had the only goal, the game winner against FIU for this Stetson team. Hard tackle and an early foul. Looks like Annika Seam is okay as she gets back up. First free kick for the Hatters tonight. So Sophia Green with her second goal this season for Oklahoma, the 12th of her career, with her 2 stops. Let's look again as Green gets a touch and skimmed off the head of one of those frontline defenders for the Hatters. Unfortunate break for Stetson.
As a defender there's almost nothing you can do in that. With a long throw, I mean, you try to time it. The sun was probably in her eyes. She jumped a little bit early. And with that ball getting headed back, the goalkeeper could have had a chance to grab it. But that's just an unfortunate position. The goalkeeper didn't know whether to stay or go. And lucky for us that OU got the early goal.
Sawyer Reynolds set to take this throw in, but we've got an injured Sooner right over by the bench. And as always, great concern for Oklahoma head coach Matt Mott. Trying to make out who that is. I think it may be Leonie Weber. And it is. You see 31. Melanie Bean is the Oklahoma trainer. Early stoppage. Weber was injured in Oklahoma's opener at North Texas and was limited in that game. Bounced back though and played 2 days later in their match here in Norman, their home opening win over FIU. I think maybe we have a look at what it could be. You watch the right side of your screen. It's right there on the line. Knee to knee, perhaps knee to thigh, Nick.
Yeah, it looks, I mean, when you're going into those 50-50 tackles, that's kind of a tackle that you're going to experience. It looks like, I mean, no one is meaning to go into these challenges with any malintent. Knee to thigh on both sides. And so it looks like they're kind of just checking her here. And I mean, I would assume it was almost like a dead leg. That's what it looks like. Just anytime you go into those 50-50s, you're going to kind of be putting your body on the line.
Looks like Abigail McNulty may enter the lineup here. She's been battling a quad injury, but getting healthier and healthier. And good news to see Oklahoma's leading scorer, the senior Leonie Weber, walk off the field under her own power.
Subbing onto the pitch for Oklahoma, number 22, Abigail.
So it is McNulty, who's in her first year at Oklahoma. She transferred from Boston University, 4 seasons at BU. Was all Patriot League and had 10 goals in her 3 seasons at Boston. Back to action. Oklahoma leads 1-0. A goal by Sophia Green, assisted by Cassie Clifton. Hatters have had a couple of early looks. Working it out in the midfield. This is Sawyer Reynolds. Trying to circle back, but she's hawked by Sophia Green. To midfield, reaching it was Gendy for Stetson, but it comes back to the Sooner keeper, Duffy. Finally claimed by Hadley Morrell of Oklahoma. Trying to work it wide for Washington. Instead, it's Kylie Overstreet to pick it off for the Hatters. King steps in to keep it alive. Beautifully defended there by King. Washington looking for the chance to serve it across. She does, right in front of the goal box, and accepted by the keeper, Ashley Wise, who's been under attack. And that's something Matt Mott said he wanted his team to do, was try to pepper that goal box with balls.
And we see there Washington has done what she has done all season already by beating her defender and putting a good ball in. When we spoke with Coach Matt Mott, that was one of the things, just balls from different angles, trying to just get more different looks on goal. And we've already seen quite a few to start the game.
Alexis Washington, just a junior for Oklahoma, but she's already just 3 assists shy of Oklahoma's program record. She has 15. And in fact, she scored her first career goal against Oral Roberts 10 days ago. And she came over to the sidelines, and Matt Mott said, okay, were you trying to score or were you trying to cross? And she said, I was trying to cross. You know me. It's just what she's so good at. But she was able to get that first career goal. Throw-in coming for King and the Sooners. And our referee, Patricia McCracken, says, move back a bit before you take that. Good one-touch pass back to Washington. Serving it across and off the foot of Cameron Wilson. It'll be Oklahoma's first corner kick of the night. And ordinarily, these are corners that Leonie Weber would take. But with her out, we'll see who jogs over.
It's a corner kick, Oklahoma.
And that's what makes Weber so dangerous. She takes all their free kicks, corner kicks, and all that. So I'm going to be interested to see what kind of delivery we can get here.
This is McNulty, who came in for Weber. She'll strike it with her left foot from the near post. Served all the way across. Washington with a touch. Circles it back out. Ella Pappas plays this one off the foot of Sawyer Reynolds. And an Oklahoma corner coming from the far post now.
It's another corner kick, Oklahoma.
Ella Pappas, the senior from just up the road in Edmond, Oklahoma, hasn't scored yet this year, but makes her 5th start tonight. And coming from the other side, it'll be Sophia Green with the right-footed touch out of the corner. Gets a return pass, lofts it toward the goal box. It'll be headed away by the physical Kelly Gendy of Stetson. Now Green sends it back toward the box. Headed out high by Quinones. And Oklahoma wants to regroup. Here's Washington. Trying to work that for Morrell, but Forchek got a foot on it. And back to Washington. Trying to stop and start. Morrell serves it right to the top of the goal box, and it's headed just wide. Another dangerous look for the Sooners. Morrell able to send it in to McNulty, who just entered the lineup.
Beautiful layback. And I think if they can just get that last pass finalized, then you would see twice as many goals that we normally have been seeing with the Sooners. So far, beautiful start here from OU.
You hear the words from coaches, we need to be more clinical, more technical around the box. What does that all entail?
So the Sooners have led every team they've played so far this season in shots during the game. But the bad thing is, if you have 20 shots and you only have 1 goal, then that's where the coaches are saying, hey, we need to be more clinical. We have just to have 20 shots. We should at least get 3, 4, 5 goals. Now, goalkeeping wise, that may change some things, but if you can just almost get 2 or 3 more goals with all that shots, then you're going to have that much more success throughout the season. And so when Coach Matt Mott talks about being more clinical, he just wants to have, yes, I love that we're having shots, but can we get 1 or 2 more of those goals out of it?
This played out of bounds by Cassie Clifton. There's Matt Mott looking off into the sun. Has to be pleased with the start of his team after 10 days off. Danny Wolf serves this one out toward midfield. Trying to post up a ticket for Oklahoma is McNulty. And sent back the other way by Peyton Quinones, freshman. And an offsides call against Oklahoma as you get McNulty running past the final Stetson defender. Jamie Souza, the first-year head coach, took over back in January from Chris Bergman, and certainly said his familiarity with the program was a big deal because he served as Stetson director of ops back in 2020. But what an amazing start, Nick. They've won 3 out of their first 4, and that 3-win total equals what they did all of last season when they were 3 up and 12 losses.
You know, and as a first-year coach, you do want to come in and actually impact the team. And it's interesting to know that when they finished the season last year, they finished with 23 players, and now he has a roster of over 40. So he has come in, brought the players he wants, and so far the results have shown.
And a good decision there made by Ashley Wise, who's trying to decide whether or not to come take it or defend Abby McNulty. Would you say that was a wise decision, Coach McMillan?
You know,
okay, I'll stop.
Wise, no wise. I mean, who knows? I mean, right now it looks great, but here in a few minutes, if they keep on this constant pressure, we may say no wise.
Seam able to work this ball wide. Good attack for the Hatters as it's sent across by Alexander, and sprawling down on this is Duffy. Duffy has been very good. She has been a leader from day one, transferring in from Duke after 2 seasons there. Just an immediate leader and kind of a vocal presence that Oklahoma needed on that back row. England, long header forward, right toward McNulty. Instead, taken away by the Hatters, Kylie Overstreet. This sent wide by Bryn Forchick, who's a Towson transfer. Ahead to Seam, dangerous player, playing this forward up the line. And a nice job there by Danny Wolf. She just calmly waited and bounced that one off of Lee Alexander out of bounds. This is the type of connectivity and veteranship that Oklahoma has on that back line.
I mean, you spoke about it earlier. 96% of the available minutes these girls have played. They know each other. They know how they want to play. They know how to press together, how to play together. And it just shows that they don't let little things like that bother them.
That one redirected out of bounds as Ella Pappas was in high gear for Oklahoma. Peyton Quinones stepped in front of her. Swept out to the foot of Seam, trying to turn upfield and play a long ball over the top. Duffy way out of the 18 box, collects it for Oklahoma. And now Stevens tries to play it back in for the Hatters, and we've got a Stetson foul. That sends Kaylee England sprawling to the magnificent turf at John Crane Field. That one whistled on Kelly Gendy. They really like her presence, though. She's about 5'11", height in the box, and just a presence in that holding midfield spot for the Hatters. Kaylee England, every minute for Oklahoma this year. We asked Matt Mott this week, what's going to happen if and when you sub for her? I mean, who's going to break the news to her? What's the reaction going to be?
You know, when we spoke to Coach Matt Mott, he said he's just going to let the assistants make that call. He's going to let them say it, and he's going to sit back in his chair and be like, it wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
Yeah.
Overstreet trying to work this ball forward, guided towards Stevens, but Wolf cuts it off and sends it away for Oklahoma. And Kaylee England, she's a beast. She honestly is. I mean, she's got the energy, the physicality, and the vocal leadership. You see 6,500 career minutes plus and counting. She does have 4 career goals, but she has settled into quite a role on that back line. This is Seam trying to work it wide over to Overstreet. Stetson had some early looks, and now with a 1-goal deficit, see if they try to press the attack a little more. Heavy pressure put on Wise, and she has to get rid of it. Here's England.
So one of the things you see from Stetson early is that their players are not afraid to play with the ball. And what we mean by that is they're not afraid to dribble a little bit, carry the ball into some pressure to see if they can break these lines. And you see there that kind of put her in a bad spot. But the defenders are not afraid to play with the ball a little bit, make the defenders make a move. And so you're going to see OU slowly start to creep forward, which is now going to allow those through balls to go into the channels.
Previous stops at Florida Gulf Coast and Rollins University as an assistant coach for Jamie Souza before taking over at Stetson this year. So Wise is just going to let things kind of sort through. 2 straight shutouts, 5 career shutouts. Atlantic Sun goalkeeper of the week. She was the starter in 2020 and 2021. And then Mallory Osborne, who's from here in Norman, Oklahoma, actually was the starting keeper at Stetson a year ago. But she's been nursing a sore back, and as she has been on the sidelines, Wise has really locked herself in. She's been excellent in goal.
And you kind of see that here with the OU goalkeeping situation. When you have a goalkeeper who has been so successful, it's hard to give someone else a chance. So as a goalkeeper, if you can lock that position down, it's going to be hard unless you do something drastic to have that position taken away from you.
The coaches say we want someone to win the spot, right? Win that job. And that's happened for both these keepers. This one served up the left flank, and Stetson Sawyer Reynolds will just let this one roll on out. Only the 3rd goal of the year allowed by Stetson this year. Coming in with back-to-back shutouts, but Oklahoma has broken that with a Sophia Green goal assisted by Cassie Clifton. Little tug from behind by Hadley Morrell. She grabbed the jersey of Peyton Quinones, but it got past the referee. Skimmed forward off the head of Gendy, and it trickles all the way back to the Oklahoma keeper Duffy. So about 18 minutes into this one, it's been all Oklahoma. They have had the better run of play so far and the 1-0 lead. Looked like Sophia Green
what a turn.
Got a little knee to the chest, and a great turn results in a Stetson foul. Just a beautiful move by McNulty, and a yellow card being assessed by Patricia McCracken as well.
And you see the ball was played early to the feet, and the Stetson defender, she had no choice but to kind of pull her down right there, or she would have been one-on-one in goal. So it's the only thing she had, so the card was well deserved, but you save potential of a goal scoring opportunity.
So Alyssa Stevens issued the first yellow card of this match. Foul occurred right there just outside the 18 box. And Oklahoma has both Sophia Green and Hadley Morrell within striking distance. Adders with the wall of defenders, 5 of them just outside the goal box. Right over the top, off the crossbar. Washington is there, and she put it home. So Alexis Washington lurking right in front of the keeper, Ashley Wise, as the ball came off the crossbar. Not much that Wise could do on that redirect. It's 2-0 Oklahoma, and the 2nd career goal in 2 in as many games for Alexis Washington.
You know, stop us if you've heard this before. Washington goal, Green goal. I mean, it almost is like a repeat of what we saw last week. Beautiful free kick taken, good save, and Washington just there to clean it up. I mean, that is just a goal scorer's goal right there. Even though that's only her 2nd, she was in the right place. Beautiful execution by OU, and we've already seen a 2-0 start. This is beautiful to start for OU.
So a goal in the 5th minute, another here in the 20th minute. And an early commanding lead for Oklahoma of 2-0 over Stetson. There's a foul climbing up over the top against Forchick. Her first year at Stetson. She's out of Boca Raton, Florida. And as we said, transferred in from Towson University. That'll be a bump from behind against Oklahoma's Danny Wolf. 3rd foul whistled against the Sooners in this opening half. So if you're Stetson, Nick, how do you approach it perhaps differently? You had those early kind of dangerous opportunities, but not much since then.
I think if you're Stetson right now, what brought you success in the first few minutes was they high pressed really well. They didn't give OU time to be on the ball, but now you've kind of see them step back a little bit. So that first goal kind of allowed them to step back, and it's gave OU a little more confidence to move forward. And so if you're Stetson, you've got to continue to high press. You've got to continue to play the balls early, so that way your attackers can kind of put some pressure on England, Wolf, and King back there.
Peyton Quinones just hit that ball too far on the free kick for the Hatters, so back the other way, the goal kick from Duffy. Pappas trying to work this ball wide, intercepted by Reynolds of Stetson. Green with a nice one-touch look out wide. McNulty, low cross, Overstreet took it away for Stetson, and the Hatters counterattack as it comes to Komana. But there's the speed of King. You want to race King, Nick, two in white for Oklahoma?
Not a chance. Not a chance. I mean, I feel like we've said this all the time. Oh, there's a through ball played in. Oh, there's King cleaned up. I mean, she is just what holds this back line together, because now the other two defenders know, they're like, oh, King's got it. She's going to beat anyone back there. And so that's just another layer of trust and build. And that's another reason why they've logged 96% of the minutes.
King, the transfer from Liberty and then Ole Miss. Ole Miss last year. Her sister Madeline was a track athlete at both Ole Miss and Notre Dame. So you wonder what happens. We'll have to find out when they line the two of them up. This one rumbling out of bounds, and the Hatters will get a throw in from Kylie Overstreet. Overstreet's been a longtime performer in the Stetson program, lots of minutes all 3 prior years. She's from Orange Park, Florida, and a starter the last 2 years for the Hatters, even with the coaching change. It doesn't always happen. Here's Washington for Oklahoma. 1v1 against Overstreet. Trying to speed around the corner at Overstreet. Deflects it out of bounds. Another Oklahoma corner coming. And sometimes that's about all you can do against Washington. Just so hard to take the ball away from her.
And one of the things I like early already is that they've already had 3 corners, and you're just getting different looks. Now that Wade Bear is out, you now have a true lefty swinging this ball in, and it's just a different look when you have all these corners. So if you've seen film, you've never seen this kind of look because OU's never done it before. And so that's just another layer that OU is now adding into that's making them be successful so far in this first 15-20 minutes.
McNulty gets another chance with that left foot, sends it just wide of the right post. Wise elected not to touch that one. She'll get a goal kick and let things settle a little bit. How important is it for Wise to do that? Let things settle just a little bit.
You kind of see her here now. She's just rolling the ball. She's taking her time, really giving her defenders a break. And as a goalkeeper, she's a 5th-year senior. That is a veteran move. She's letting her defenders kind of calm down a little bit, saying, hey, we're here. We've been here before. We know we can score goals. And so she's just allowing them to rest, recover, and then before she plays that ball.
Ella Pappas takes it for Oklahoma at midfield. And out of the pack comes Nevaeh Johnson. Getting a little update on Leonie Weber, who left about 8 minutes ago. Looked like either a knee-to-knee situation or knee-to-thigh situation. She's up and moving. There she is, as they continue to keep an eye on her. And a near collision back there. Looks like Weber may be headed to check back into this game. And right there, Bryn Forchik and Ashley Wise, the keeper, bumped into one another. Fortunately for the Hatters, Wise was able to secure it. Johnson heads this one down for Oklahoma. Here's Overstreet taking it. And King intercepts for Oklahoma. Substitutions coming on. Looks like 3 for the Sooners, none for the Hatters. The Hatters travel with 17, so they have 6 subs available. And we see Morgan O'Connor for Ella Pappas. You're looking at Morgan Eichelbarner, who scored Oklahoma's only goal in the win at the University of North Texas to open the season. And so she is on. Nevaeh Johnson gets a breather. Voracek will just work this one back to the keeper, Wise. Michelle Pack is also on in a midfield spot for Oklahoma. Trying to gain the edge, McNulty, and she does. McNulty crosses in the middle of the 18 box. A swipe at it by O'Connor. She couldn't get a clean touch on it, though. And it's cleared out to the foot of Komana. And here she comes. Redshirt freshman from San Diego. A touch for Gendy. And offside. There's Weber. Looks none the worse for wear, Nick.
Yeah, she's probably a little bit angry right now. She sees everybody scoring these goals, and she's like, hey, where's mine, you know? She is off to such an amazing start. She's probably just itching to get back out there. But if you're Matt Mott, this is the best case scenario. When you have someone who may be having an injury, may be having a little nurse of the leg, you're up 2-0, you can kind of rest her a little bit and say, hey, let's really make sure that you're okay rather than just throwing her back in the game. So I don't disagree with what Mott's doing here.
This one cleared by Quinones. An Oklahoma throw-in coming. There's Matt Mott. He has the slogan with this team, and it's on the back of their warm-up tops. PT29F. That is put Team 29 first. And that's what they have been about. They're looking forward to SEC matches, but he said not going to talk about the SEC until that first SEC contest that they have. But he knows the league well, having spent that time at Ole Miss. That one is redirected off the foot of a Hatter. Alexis Washington started it across. It hit a Hatter and goes into the goal. 3-0 Oklahoma, and Alexis Washington is going to get credit for it. We'll see which Stetson player it deflected off of right here at the end. But look at this one-touch passing.
It's a beautiful one, too. And Washington knows she has to have it low and driven right across. And for her, I mean, I hate to say it, first goal last week, now she's on a hat-trick watch. You know, what are we seeing here at John Crane Field?
The floodgates have opened for Alexis Washington. That one went off of Cameron Wilson and into the goal. It is 3-0 Oklahoma with 18 minutes left in the opening half. So Washington, 2 goals tonight, 1 against Oral Roberts, the first 3 of her career. Matt Mott, he said, we may have to work on the celebration, post-goal celebrations. She may get more opportunities to work on that if this keeps up. Here's Eichelbarner trying to work it across.
I think she always heard us talk about how she's so close to the assist record. I think she said, well, what's the goal record at real quick? Let me see. You know, I've got 2 years left. Let me see what I need to do here.
Yeah,
so
she's on pace to track that one down, too. Here's Washington again on the attack. Overstreet, right in front of her. Across it comes, and Wise watches it go off the right goalpost and out of bounds. She has been under heavy fire. 9 shots to 2. Oklahoma has the lead. Hadley Morrell got an assist on the Washington goal that time. And so Wise will let things clear a bit, send it away. But Oklahoma's back on the ball. This is Pack. Now one more run in for McNulty. Little collision up top, but away it goes. Well defended that time by Alyssa Stevens of Stetson. Dropped over the top by Quinones, but couldn't get it to Gendy. And Pack initiates an Oklahoma counter.
And that's where the Mad Hatters have got to just be a little bit better. They had the ball, and whenever they can press forward early like they're doing currently right now, they've got to have that better final pass. And that's what's causing them to have so much trouble, is when they play that ball up, they just don't have anyone to play it up there to. And so if they can kind of figure that out, they may be able to get 1 or 2 back in this game.
Washington, an inside angle, leaves this for Eichelbarner. Overstreet defends and clears it. England runs it down, trying to reset for Oklahoma. Stevens reaches it first for Stetson, and here comes Seam. There's Clifton serving it forward. O'Connor goes down in a heap, but springs back up. McNulty works around Reynolds, and Reynolds tackles it away, and a foul against McNulty of Oklahoma. 15 minutes left.
As a defender, one of the things you love to do is slide tackle, and that was a textbook tackle. She got the ball. Yes, she went through the player, but as long as you get the ball first and you make contact, that is a beautiful tackle there by the Stetson defender.
Sawyer Reynolds, starter most of last season and in a starting role again for the new coaching staff of Jamie Souza. Oklahoma picks off another one at midfield. This is Hadley Morrell. Between the seam to Eichelbarner, who stops. Left-footed shot is good for Morgan Eichelbarner. Beautiful stop and start. And the polish with the left foot to give Oklahoma the 4-0 lead.
And that's exactly what Coach Matt Mott wanted. Just composure and being clinical in front of goal. When you see here when we play this back, she had the time to take the touch, drag it back. First off, we see an excellent through ball there. But you see right here, she gets her head up, boom, defender's out, 1v1 in goal. Clinical finish with the left. As a goalkeeper, there's nothing you can do in that instance. That right there is being clinical. We see this 10 shots already, and 5 of those are on goal. That's the thing you love to see.
That is the 2nd goal of the year for Morgan Eichelbarner, and the 7th of her Oklahoma career, the junior from Plano, Texas, Plano West High School. And she's been a goal scorer from day one. As an Oklahoma Sooner, had 3 in limited playing time as a freshman, in fact. And now we have Kelly Gendy being attended to. Looks like the right quad area is the area of concern. Taylor Brown, the trainer for the Hatters. And both sides are over to speak with their head coaches. 4-0 Oklahoma. Could not ask for a better start if you were Matt Mott, outside of the hopefully minor injury to Leonie Weber. But the message has gotten through. He said lots of balls in the box, and he has gotten what he hoped for tonight, Nick.
Yes, and the only person who is probably upset right now is Weber. Because if this was a close game, that chance of getting back in the game is going to be more likely. But right now, it's already 4-0. They've probably said, hey, you know what? I hate to break it to you. We're going to rest and recover. We have just as many important games coming up. And that just speaks about what Coach Matt Mott has instilled in his team this year.
And you honestly have the luxury at this point of resting Weber the rest of the night and potentially maybe getting a little more rest for players on that back row defensively, to have logged 96 of the available minutes on the 4-person back row.
I can tell you that I'm definitely not making that call, because you know, just thinking about trying to sub out England just kind of gives me a little chill right now.
Yeah. See, a sub coming on is Taylor Ayers, freshman defender from Grapevine, Texas, for Stetson, wearing number 25 in black and white. England chases it down for Oklahoma. Duffy works it forward, and there to take it is Seam. This intercepted by Pack. Heavy collision. That ball deflects hard off of Abigail McNulty. And it got her right in the abdomen. She is doubled over and now down on her knees after taking that shot. So it's been a tough night on the injury front for both sides. And Nick, you hope it's just one of those where it knocked the wind out of you. It certainly looks like that might be the case.
When you're as fast as she is and she's running full speed, these are the kind of things that's going to happen. As a defender, you've seen it multiple times this year. She runs at everything. And so the fact she sees that, the defender's trying to just clear the ball out, it's unfortunate there. But this is what happens when you're willing to throw your body on the line. And it looks like that was just right in the gut. So it probably took the air out of her there.
And again, the Oklahoma training staff hands full so far for Melanie Bean tonight. Well, it has been goals aplenty for Oklahoma, out shooting Stetson 10-2 so far. And there's good news as they are able to help Abby McNulty get to her feet. Oklahoma very early, that poked home by Sophia Green off a ball sent in by Cassie Clifton. That was in the 5th minute. Then the minor injury, it appears, to Leonie Faith, the foot of Cameron Wilson. And Alexis Washington involved with 2 goals tonight. Morgan Eichelbarner has the 4th goal. It came in the 31st minute. And it's all Oklahoma in the first 45 minutes. There's Eichelbarner. Overstreet out of the pack for Stetson.
And here's where Stetson just has to be a little bit better. They have the composure. They have the time on the ball. Now, can they find the final pass? You see them pulling OU out. This is the pass they need to connect with. And that's just the final pass they're lacking. If they can get that figured out, there may be a chance to kind of come back in this game. But they've got to figure that out. And that would be one of the things I'd look at going into halftime.
King doing battle with Komana. They've had some physical run-ins so far tonight. The opposing number 2. King working through the pack, somehow maintaining possession and able to get this one off to Juliet Rayo, freshman who's in for Oklahoma. Okay, good communication there. Alexander kind of looked up at Sawyer Reynolds and then decided, hey, let's just go ahead and play this back to the keeper Wise.
Now that was a wise decision.
Indeed, sir. The 5th-year keeper from Parker, Colorado. Atlantic Sun goalkeeper of the week. Back-to-back shutouts, but not tonight. Heavy fire from this Oklahoma front row. Gendy reaches this, tries to turn it upfield. Morrell collects it, and works this back to the keeper Duffy. Duffy likes to keep the ball at her feet. Nick, what's the advantage of that in a keeper who's very comfortable with the ball down there?
So the modern day goalkeeper now, they've been asked to switch from not using the ball at their feet to actually playing more, passing out, and more of a possession style based. And so what Duffy brings now is someone you can pass the ball back to, and she's going to have time and composure on the ball. And you see that with her ability to kind of carry the ball forward and play those long balls. So the fact that she can play with her feet, it just gives another really player on the field that OU is now able to use. You know, 20, 30 years ago, almost people were afraid to play back to their goalkeeper. Now they can play to him, and it just adds another player on the field.
Is it the evolution of the athleticism of the position, or just the style of play has changed in the last few years?
It's a style of play. So they've always been athletic, but they've never been asked to do this, because anytime you play back to the keeper, what's there? The goal. And so a bad pass may lead to a goal, but now the style, the evolution of the game has changed, where you can say, hey, if our keepers know how to use their feet and pass the ball, we actually have an extra player on the field. So it's just that style and that transition of the game, and that's what makes Duffy have that extra layer to her game.
Some subs here for the Hatters. Kendall Brittingham is into the lineup, and Vanessa Manoli, a redshirt freshman from Montreal. Long throw in taken by Eichelbarner of Oklahoma. Hatters working this one toward Manoli, as we mentioned, just checked in, but winning the foot race is the also just checked in Avery Stevens for Oklahoma. Nicely collected by Michelle Pack. Leaves this in an empty area. O'Connor works it across into the 18 box. O'Connor sends it back in, but I think we had an offsides called.
But that's what O'Connor gives you. She gives you that relentless work ethic. There is no reason why she should have went to get that ball, but just her desire and want to get it allowed her to get it. Now, coming offside, she just made that run. That's just kind of a little bit unfortunate. But you see when they bring her into the game, she is just nonstop moving the whole time, which once again, just another layer of depth that OU has this season.
Here's Pack. Threads the needle beautifully to Rayo, who gets one away wide left. Boy, that was pretty well done by Pack, waiting on Rayo to make her run.
Subbing out into the pitch for Stetson, number 30.
More substitutions both ways.
Subbing out number 2, Stella Kumana.
Hatters get Eva McCoy in. And there is Kylie Briscoe playing in her second match of the year. She's a freshman from Carrollton, Georgia. Second run as an Oklahoma Sooner. 7:45 to play. Pack wanted to drop this into that open space for O'Connor to run to, but they were a little off page. And so it'll be picked up back there by Ashley Wise. Seam chases this one down, but a couple of Sooners there. Keller Matisse took it away, and here comes Rayo. Nice one touch, gets it to Matisse, who works it all the way across to Pack, but headed away by Overstreet of Stetson. Here comes Manoli. Now some organization for the Hatters. One touch by Stevens, and Stevens gets it back. One-on-one against England. Just tough to do, as England rides her off the ball and takes it for Oklahoma. Now Eichelbarner circles back for the Sooners. Briscoe playing it long. Briscoe against Manoli this time. That one is redirected out by Forchik. Rayo takes a tumble for Oklahoma. No foul call. And it's served away by Annika Seam. This is Keller Matisse. And she'll drop one back toward the keeper with under 6 minutes left here in the opening half. Twenty players have hit the pitch here in the first half for Oklahoma. So you get some experience. You get a look at the depth. Coaching staff, you get to see a little bit more of what you have. And you'll get some rest for those players who are logging so many minutes, Nick.
You know, that was one of the things that Coach Mott said is that, you know, they've got some players coming back from some injuries, some players that they just want to test out. And these are the moments that you love to have as a coach. You're now in a position to where you can try some girls in different spots. You can see if they're going to be helping your team out when you guys start getting into the grueling part of the season. They've had their 10-day rest, and right now it's looked like these practices they've had have really worked out in Sooners' favor.
Clifton in a wrestling match with Alexander and taken out by the Hatters. This is Seam in the midfield area, and now Overstreet. Manoli trying to stop and start, but wrangled back from her by Zoe Parkhurst of Oklahoma. And here's Manoli again. She says, why not? There have not been many threats. Test the keeper, and Duffy was up to the challenge.
We saw the idea she was wanting to do. Duffy was retreating back to her line. I think it was just a little bit too close to make that decision, but you're exactly right. Why not? Let's test the keeper. Let's make sure she's staying in the game, checked in. You know, not a bad decision there from the Stetson attacker.
Under 4 minutes remaining in our opening half. Oklahoma 4 goals in the first 31 minutes. 2 of them from Alexis Washington tonight. Looks like Rayo will step up and take a free kick after the foul against Taylor Ayers, Stetson. And this will be Kylie Briscoe. England got her head on it, and it's just wide. All the way from end to end goes Kaylee England. And got a decent touch on that one.
You know, in the span of 2 games, Washington has almost met England's goal total. So probably England's like, hey, I've got to get up there. I've got to put a few more goals in because I can't have this happen.
Here's Pack. Around a defender, serves it in. Pack stepped around one defender and angled one off of her right foot into the goal. And it's 5-0 Oklahoma. Just a great one-on-one move up top outside the 18 box to get herself some space. And a good ball by Rayo.
Rayo and Pack have had some great combinations these last few minutes, and you just see there a one-touch, boom, switch it to the right foot, clinical finish in the side netting there, nothing the goalkeeper can do. OU is looking extremely clinical right now, and if you're Coach Matt Mott, I mean, you're just in a dream. Find this little key to our game. Our defense really seems to be clicking in, and now they're finding that success in front of goal. He's probably just got to be living his best life right now.
So Michelle Pack able to connect. Her 4th career goal as an Oklahoma Sooner, first this year. Overstreet, dangerous with the ball at her feet there, and Pack right on top of her. Manoli. Seam posts up, but can't connect on that pass. Morgan Eichelbarner looking for a chance. Rayo turns, fires. It goes off the shoulder of Kendall Brittingham. And back to the keeper, Ashley Wise. 5-0 Oklahoma. 4 different players have scored. Here's Overstreet, but taken away. Rayo for Oklahoma again. And Sawyer Reynolds will dump this one back to Wise, the keeper. Pressured by Eichelbarner, has to get rid of it. Oklahoma is just relentless right now.
And if you're wise here, I expect her to really see this game out right now. With about 30 seconds, she is going to use all of that time. If they can get into halftime with this goal differential, rather than not getting one more in, that's the best case scenario for Stetson right now.
Oklahoma had 7 goals in 4 matches for the season. They've had 5 in the opening half tonight against Stetson. Comfortably on top with under 10 seconds remaining in this opening half.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, the 10-day respite served the Sooners well. They respond with energy. They respond with finish, and they lead 5-0 at the end of the first half. Visit with Sooner head coach Matt Mott when we can get him over to the location. But he's got to be pleased, Joel, ready, and then get your players ready to play. A 3-1 start, pretty remarkable beginning. But it's been all Oklahoma tonight. That's Ella Pappas getting across away and sprinting in is, I guess, Leonie Weber is going to play in the second half, because that was her flying in like Superman.
You know, we mentioned at the start, we're afraid to take England off. I think Weber went in there, went in there in halftime and said, you know what? I need to get some time in this second half. And so, you know, if you're Coach Matt Mott, you've got to let her just kind of get to minutes to kind of play this out. And so interesting to see her out in the second half.
Leonie Weber now tied for the Oklahoma team lead with 3 goals. Alexis Washington with 2 goals tonight has tied her in that department. But Weber played only 6 minutes in the first half. She gives it a run to begin half number 2. A few subs out there for Oklahoma. Most of the original starting 11 out to begin half number 2 for the Hatters. This one comes back to the keeper, Duffy, who had 3 shots directed her way in the first half. Headed back by Cameron Wilson, the leader in minutes for the Stetson team. Meredith King tackled at midfield by the opposing number 2, Stella Comana. King a little shaken as she staggers over to take this throw in. You see what Oklahoma did, 7 goals 9 years ago in the first half against UTSA. 5 here tonight. This one sent in by Juliet Rayo, but deflected. Comana tangled up with King and out of bounds for a Stetson throw in. I was looking on the back end of that play. That ball that was sent in by Rayo really hit Bryn Forchick hard. And so she's trying to kind of gain her senses. She stands out at midfield for Stetson.
And if you're Stetson here, this is kind of the start that you want to see the second half. If we can win this goal kick or this ball that's played in, this is kind of the beautiful start here. So he probably said, hey, let's get a foul early. Let's put some numbers in the box and see if we can challenge to maybe get that goal back. It's an uphill battle, but this is a perfect start here for Stetson.
This is Cameron Wilson serving this one in. It goes off an Oklahoma Sooner, and then a great save there by Duffy. There was a Sooner that got a foot on that one, nearly directed it into the Oklahoma goal. Alyssa Stevens was bearing down on Duffy as well.
And one of the things I love to see is they've tested Duffy early twice. But at the same time, Duffy has been there, and that is a massive boost for her. She's making that save early to start the half, and so now she can just build off that. So that's perfect if you're Duffy.
Annika Seam maintaining possession for Stetson, but gives that one up. Here's Quinones. Reynolds will work this one back to Wise, the keeper. That's Overstreet working it forward, but many Sooners there. Danny Wolf took it first. There comes Kylie Briscoe, the freshman, came on in the latter stages of the first half, and she starts half number 2. Ella Pappas now across the top of the 18 box, pins it in beautifully. almost speechless at the arc on that ball, Nick. Just beautiful from the Sooner senior, and it's 6-0.
I'm sorry, as a goalkeeper, there is nothing you can do in that instance, but you just have to watch that goal go in. Perfect execution here. And you see this. She sizes up her defender. She waits, takes her touch, and right there she knows exactly what she wants to do. She gets her head up, sees the goalkeeper near post, puts it far back post, and we call that in soccer terms, she cleared out the cobwebs in the upper 90 there. That is just a beautiful shot.
And with the pace she made,
yes.
6-0, Oklahoma on top. The 5th career goal for Ella Pappas, and her first this year. She is the 5th different Sooner to score tonight. Now some connection for the Hatters. Gendy, but circling back to take it from her is Oklahoma's Nevaeh Johnson. Morrell trying to play this one up the right side for Oklahoma. Overstreet there to take it though for Stetson. Here's Johnson. Taken back by Stevens. And now the other way is Rayo. Rayo, beautiful touch inside. And low left picked up by Ashley Wise. Boy, Rayo has had some good minutes.
She gives another dimension to this team. The fact she is so crafty with her feet. We spoke to Coach Matt Mott, and he said that she's one of the best on the team with the balls at her feet. And so you've already seen that today, and you've seen that whenever she put that through ball into Pack in the first half. She's putting herself in excellent positions. And right there, if we just a little bit more, just better on that pass or on that shot, that's it. That's another goal. And so she's just really excelling in this game.
Rayo with the touch, gets it back from Weber, trying to work it out wide all by herself, but a nice job to redirect that time by Peyton Quinones. Yeah, Rayo just getting more and more minutes. She's played the most minutes of any Oklahoma freshman this year. And Matt Mott said one thing that's earned her more playing time recently is the defensive side of things. Washington takes the throw in. There's Rayo. There's Washington trying to work around the edge. Serves it high and across. Headed down by Alexander. Pappas got her foot to it for Oklahoma. Now Seam had it for a moment, sent back in by Oklahoma's Nevaeh Johnson. Gendy just a little too far behind Komana that time, and an Oklahoma throw-in coming. Hadley Morrell over to take it. Oklahoma with goal number 1 in half number 2, coming from Ella Pappas in the 50th minute.
Pappas works toward this one. Sends another one in. Rayo got a touch for the Sooners. And taken by Annika Seam of Stetson.
Here comes Quinones, building the attack for Komana now. Washington runs with Komana. Washington with a good job defending that time on Peyton Quinones.
And one of the things that makes that right side for OU so dangerous is you may get past Washington, who is extremely fast, but guess what? You have King. And so Stetson there says, oh, King is out, but guess what? Washington is still in to go there, track back the ball. And that's what makes her extremely dangerous, is her ability to just come back and help defensively.
Briscoe chases it down for Oklahoma. We talked with Matt Mott this week about what you do with 10 days away from competition. And he said one thing you can do is work a little more situationally, Nick, on things that you want, closing out halves and playing with leads and playing with deficits in short spans? How important is that?
And this game is one of those instances when you look at the first 4 games that OU has played, they've given up goals late in the game. And so he talked about having these 7-minute stretches of how to close a game, how to go find a goal to get back into a game. And so that was one of his big things he wanted to work on these 10 days off. Is we know we can go score, we know we can go compete with anyone, but can we just compete and finish the game? And that is what I'm expecting to see here, and I expect the Sooners to be relentless this second half to finish out this game and to get another clean sheet.
Boy, Rayo really showing up to begin this half, isn't she? She got that ball off her head and nearly put it into the top right corner. Juliet Rayo, the freshman from Wiley, Texas, Rockwall High School. Washington circles to take this for Oklahoma. There's Quinones. Stetson just trying to keep some possession right now, see if they can build. Peyton Quinones, freshman midfielder from Agnes Irwin School, and it's a player that Jamie Sousa said they got kind of late in a very brief recruiting cycle, and she showed up in their season opener, earned more playing time, got a goal against Gardner Webb. Hebert cross. Back to the backside. Pappas with an open look, but just sent it over the top of the crossbar and wide right.
And it looks like Weber is recovering nicely. That's the second or third ball she's put in very dangerously now. And that's what Coach Matt was talking about. If we can be clinical in that moment, if we can just figure that out, OU's going to have a really successful season.
It just maybe that pressure put on there. You see Lee Alexander wearing number 22 made Pappas get rid of that a brief instant before she wanted to. Here's Alexander. Lee Alexander, the senior, had the hat trick against Alabama A&M, which equaled her total of goals in her entire career. She did it all in one night in that shutout of Alabama A&M. Here's Overstreet, and just out of bounds over on the far side.
And I'm sure Coach Sousa said at halftime, can we keep the ball? You know, if you go look back at the first half, they just weren't able to connect more than 5-6 passes in a row. So, you know, going to halftime, he said, hey, here's how we beat the Sooners. Let's keep the ball and let's not let their dangerous players affect us. And so you see here in the second half is that they're trying to connect 1 or 2 passes together, but they just haven't been successful with that last one. If they can get that out, you may be able to find some success against the Sooners.
How challenging is that as a team against Oklahoma, given how direct they are? I mean, they come right up to you as soon as you get the ball.
The problem is, it's not that their directness, it's just how fast and physical they are. We spoke to Coach Matt Mott on Friday, and he said that one of the perfect additions they had was Johnson in the middle. The fact that she can kind of hold some things down just brings another depth into their team. And so what Matt Mott went out and got and helped them for this season, it's now just made them that much more dangerous because they're physical, they're fast, and now the pieces that they were missing, they found.
Injury timeout. Unfortunately, we've seen several players go down both ways in this game. Now they have all come back in, and I believe that is Alyssa Stevens, and it is. Now you see the fluids going in and the toe being pulled back indicates one thing to me.
A little bit of cramp. You know, that Florida heat's a little bit different than Oklahoma heat. So, you know, having the plane right here and having to play, she played a full 45 in the first half. It's just a different ball game when you have just this dry heat here in Oklahoma.
Which heat do you prefer?
I would have to say Florida because there's a beach somewhere near.
I prefer the San Diego heat. About 70 degrees. Subs coming on early in this half. For Oklahoma, Kobe Commandant is on. She's a transfer from Syracuse, missed last season with injury. There she is. Spent 2 seasons at Syracuse and had an ACL tear in the preseason last year. Matt Mott said it's a full year type of recovery. So they're looking forward to getting her back out there. Nevaeh Johnson getting a breather for Oklahoma. Here's Vebert right in the center of things, working it on an angle toward Washington, but taken away by Komana. Komana just serves this one out of bounds. Going to be that running, tumbling, long throw in. Keller Matisse flips it into the 18 box. And Washington not quite going to be able to reach this one. Another thing that teams get to do when they have downtime is you get to watch some soccer. You don't have that much time to do so. You're playing at the same time as other teams in the SEC would be playing. And Matt Mott said his Oklahoma team got to do a lot of that. He's got his command center. And he got the 80-inch big screen up there and just watching games last week.
You know, I can speak and say that Coach Matt loves his command center. So he loves to put all the games up there. But one key point, and really why he wanted his team to watch these games, is there's only just a handful of them who've actually been in the SEC. Maybe a transfer or two here, but all the girls we have here have never been a part of that, have never maybe seen these teams. Coach Matt Mott said that he's seen them, he's played them, he's been there before. But these girls, if he can just give them a little taste, even if it's on film, that's going to help them out moving forward here with the season.
And Oklahoma's first SEC match will be September 19th when Mississippi State comes to Norman. That is just a beautiful throw from Kobe Commandant.
I can say 0.0 chance that I am able to do that. Now, I don't know about you, Chad, but
I
for
would
me,
say 100% chance that I would like to see you attempt it.
I don't know if the trainer is going to be able to help me out with all the things I would pull doing that.
And she's had her hands full tonight. Smile there from Kobe Commandant. It looks like they're talking to Leo Vebert over on the sideline. So Wolf works that one forward and out of bounds. When you take a look at the SEC, there are no easy ones. I mean, Auburn was 5-0 coming into the night. Hadn't allowed a goal. Outscored opponents 22-0. And Arkansas, undefeated, outscoring foes 31-3. But you will not get any breathers. Pretty good matchups around the conference tonight. You got Clemson at South Carolina, Illinois at Georgia, and Texas taking on San Diego State in Austin tonight. TCU, Texas A&M. That's a good Big 12 SEC battle in College Station this evening. There's an Oklahoma foul, the 6th whistle tonight. Bryn Forchick trying to work it forward, but Clifton cuts it off for Oklahoma. Pappas will step to this one first. Pappas dropped that one in pretty nicely inside the goal box. Forchick takes it away. Here's Pack. Trying to work her way through, but Stevens cuts her off. Pappas trying to gain the edge against Alexander. So we mentioned some of the matchups around the Southeastern Conference tonight. Here's a look at the scores. 0-0 tie, Clemson and South Carolina. Still in the first half, that Texas-San Diego State matchup. Auburn. So Auburn, that would send them to 6-0 and outscoring opponents 25-0. Nice win for the Bulldogs. And just underway, UCLA and Tennessee. UCLA ranked number 3 in the country, so a tough test for the Vols in Knoxville. Pappas right into the middle of the 18 box. I would say about 90% of the minutes in this half have been played down on this end, Nick.
Yes, and one of the key things about that is they're playing them in good spots. You know, Pappas has got our goal, and you continue to see OU trying to feed her to help her out. And that's just going to continue to gain her confidence. And that's something that the Sooners need. So that way later on in the season, she can see the ball hit the back of the net. But you also see people like Rayo and Pack in the middle of the field having that success. And they're saying, hey, you guys need these touches so that way we can continue to grow and develop. It's a team mentality. And they're saying, hey, let's feed the hot hand right now. And some of these players are having huge success on this so far.
So let's watch this flipping long throw from Commandant once again. Weber got her head on it. And a little entanglement. An Oklahoma foul will be whistled against Kaylee England as she dropped Eva McCoy, the redshirt freshman, down.
You know, for McCoy there, that's exactly what you want to do. You want to hold up the ball, and you saw you had no one going forward, so your next mindset is, how can I protect it? How can I keep it? And the fact that she got the foul there, that is a perfect thing that she did there to hold the ball, win it, and now she got a free kick for her team.
Duffy will just pick this one up. You know, if you're Jamie Souza, and we visited with him at halftime, obviously was not real pleased, but if you think about it, this far into the first half, Oklahoma had 3 goals on the board. They've got 1 now in half number 2, but are you feeling better about things right now from what you've seen?
You know, Coach doesn't really have a whole lot to be upset about. I mean, that was a wonder goal, so, I mean, there's nothing the goalkeeper can do there. But you've seen them kind of press up a little bit more. You've seen them keep the ball for more than 3 or 4 passes, and so you can't be too upset.
This one comes free, an open look for McNulty, and it's deflected. Great job back there by Forchick to get in front of it. After Wise had come out of the goal box, McNulty got past her. But good rotation by the Stetson defenders.
And if you're McNulty there, you've got to be upset because she beats the goalkeeper here. She wins the ball, she gets back, and here's why she's upset. The defender wasn't even looking at the position. She kind of just ran in the way. And so if you're McNulty, you're like, man, I really missed that one.
It was actually Sawyer Reynolds who deflected it, but as I mentioned, Forchick stopped the threat and forced the shot. Clifton with a hard drive that ricochets off the body of Reynolds, who clears it out of bounds. Reynolds, sophomore from Jacksonville, Florida. Stetson has settled in a little better in half number 2. They've dealt with Oklahoma's style a little more evenly. Weber dangerous in this spot, dropped toward the goal by Commandant, but deflected, and an Oklahoma corner kick coming. Oklahoma has outshot Stetson 25-4 tonight.
OU scored 2 goals off corner kicks in the last game, so let's see if they can continue that trend here with this corner.
And that was Forchick heading that ball out of bounds. Weber, the high cross all the way across and out of bounds. Oklahoma with 5 goals in the first half. They played most of the first half without Leonie Weber, but Alexis Washington was able to get a pair of goals. Got a change. Perhaps coming here for the Hatters. As Michelle Pack comes away for Oklahoma at midfield. Annika Seam. And taken by Commandant. This is Ella Lewis who's in for Oklahoma. But Lewis cannot quite reach that. Hatters may be thinking about a goalkeeper change. We'll see if that occurs, but Ashley Wise still out there for now. Reynolds runs through that header. Washington retakes it for Oklahoma, and we'll have a foul. It's against Vanessa Manoli. So we approach 20 minutes remaining. 2 goals from Alexis Washington. Sophia Green has her second Oklahoma goal tonight. Morgan Eichelbarner, her second goal of the year. And Ella Pappas, her first goal of the year. There's Alexis Washington. 3 goals in her last 2 games.
Now, just doing a normal throw-in is tiring. And so the past 4 throw-ins, she's been doing a flip. She has got to be gassed right now.
Washington heads this one toward goal. Back out it comes and chased down by Commandant. That back row led by Bryn Forchik back there is taking its shots tonight, but they have held here in the second half for the Hatters.
And they've had a much better second half, kind of controlling a little bit, getting a little bit more at ease. And that's exactly, if you're Stetson, that's exactly what you're looking for.
This one headed out by Quinones. Decent look and a goal, as it turns out. It comes from Ella Lewis, the freshman. Fending off a defender, dropping it over the top, and has her first goal as an Oklahoma Sooner. The freshman from McKinney, Texas, Boyd High School. The great left-footed look.
This is a skill that is so difficult to do. You got the defender on your back, and you kind of just swing your foot at it, and you almost feel bad for Wise because the last 2 goals they've scored in this half, there is nothing she can do about those. Those are such perfectly hit that you can't save those. So you kind of feel bad for her, but that just speaks on what those 10 days off. They worked on something, and if you're Coach Matt Mott, you are extremely excited. You're saying, hey, we're reaping the benefits of this.
Looks like the Sooners will make a change in goal. So Sierra Giorgio, who was the starter in goal for last season, the better part of it, she will move into the goal spot to try to hold and get a clean sheet that was started by Caroline Duffy, who was very good tonight. And Giorgio, redshirt junior out of Vaughan, Ontario, Canada. She's a transfer from Syracuse, her second year as an Oklahoma Sooner. But she led Oklahoma keepers last year with 13 appearances. She is now back there. And there's Sierra. Sooners feel comfortable with each of their keepers. And I believe we have a change in goal for Stetson as well after that last one. We do. And we have the Norman native, Mallory Osborne, who went to Norman North High School. She is back in goal for Stetson now. She was the regular keeper, as we said, for the better part of last year, but has been nursing a sore back. But you know, it's got to feel good for her. No, she does have a lot of family and friends. When she was introduced, there were about 10 people that went nuts here at John Crane Field before the match, Nick.
I wish my parents did that. You know, I could be playing in the World Cup and they would just be like, woo, go son. I'm like, you know, she was playing and she's doing that injury. They cheered for her like it's her best day. So she's got to be good getting to play back here in Norman.
And there was a test by Vanessa Manoli of Stetson. There's Mallory Osborne. You see 6A state champion and all-stater. substitutions. A breather here for Lee Alexander. Annika Seam is going to return. Eva McCoy. We see Ariana Mullen in for the first time. She's a freshman from Hamden, Connecticut.
I did see Coach Matt Mott look a little bit worried on that last sub, and I think that's because he took England out of the game.
For the first time this year, Kaylee England is getting a breather for Oklahoma on that back row. Morgan Eichelbarner able to pop back to her feet. This one sent out of bounds. 16.5 minutes remaining. All Oklahoma from the word go tonight. Scored in the 5th minute. Sophia Green did the honors. 7 goals by 6 different Sooners tonight, including the first as a Sooner for Ella Lewis just moments ago. And so Kaylee England getting a breather. We don't say that very often. There she is. She looks like she's okay with being taken off for the first time this year.
You know, we joke about Washington and her goal scoring celebrations. You know, what does she do on the sideline now? You know, she's got 16 towels. She's like, I've never been over here. What am I supposed to do?
Where do I go?
Yeah, where do I go? Do I go to the end of the line, the front of the line? So.
And it's not just a one-year thing for her. You saw the career minutes for Kaylee England approaching 3,700 in an Oklahoma uniform. Captain. She puts in the work like a pro. Clifton serves this one forward for the Sooners, and Reynolds clears it out of bounds for Stetson. Here's Eichelbarner, who scored earlier tonight. Mullen came back to take it for Stetson. Connection here from Manoli to Mullen. And she tries to thread the needle.
And that's exactly what we were talking about in the first half. Having the goalkeeper play with her feet there, cool, calm, and collected. It's an extra player on the field. Normally, goalkeepers would just take that ball and kick it as far up as they can. But the fact that they could actually try to keep and control possession, that's exactly what they're asking the modern-day goalkeeper to do.
And Giorgio very comfortable doing that as well, as she's now in goal for the Sooners. Zoe Parkhurst has entered the lineup for Oklahoma. Keller Matisse is out there. And Morgan O'Connor also.
Subbing out for Oklahoma, number 3, Toby Command. Number 21, Ella Lewis. And number 31, Leonie Baker.
Stella Comana takes this one for the Hatters. Comana, nice little touch in there, trying to work her way free. Mullen gets a shot away, and Giorgio is there. Got to be ready when your name is called. And both players were just into the game. Ariana Mullen for Stetson and Sierra Giorgio for Oklahoma.
And you know that's got to feel good for Giorgio to make that first initial save. It was a good shot on goal, and she smothered that very well. But if you're that goalkeeper coming into a game late like this, if you can kind of get that first one off your back, it's just going to help you build confidence to see out the game.
They call that foul on Keller Matisse of Oklahoma, and Stella Comana a bit slow to get up. She redshirted last year at Stetson. And you see Matisse over to help her up. Yellow card assessed to Matisse. First yellow against the Sooners tonight.
A yellow card has been shown to Stetson number 9, Sailor Clary.
Eichelbarner settles in on this one and has played it a little too far out ahead. Mallory Osborne will send it back the other way. King gains possession for the Sooners. Physical right there between Eichelbarner and Comana. And an Oklahoma throw-in will result.
And one of the things you love to see is OU still continuing to be aggressive. You know, a lot of times when teams have these leads, they kind of let the foot off the gas a little bit. And you could hear Coach there saying, hey, down the line, we want to go, we want to go. And that just speaks that they're trying to see out this game. Now we've got these little 7-minute snippets that Coach works on throughout the week. They're now saying, hey, now we finish this game out?
Abigail McNulty will take this 5th Oklahoma corner kick of the night. Beautifully placed. It comes back to King. Clatters around to the foot of Matisse. And now King wanting to turn and send it back in, as she does, right into the hip pocket of Mallory Osborne. 26-6 Oklahoma leads in shots. Two different Sooners have played in this game. Here's Michelle Pack, who had a goal earlier tonight. Good minutes for Ariana Mullen off the bench for Stetson tonight. Able to work this one back to McCoy, who's also in. But there's that Sooner back line trying to come up with their 2nd shutout of the year. McNulty, shadowed by Brittingham, able to work around her. And nicely defended that time by Reynolds. McNulty works this one across. Clearance by Forchik. Mullen with a long ball. Onside is Coker. That ball's still live. Finally out of bounds. Coker wanting a foul call, feeling like maybe there was a tug of the jersey there. And more subs. So Kaylee England back on. And that just means a breather for Andy Wolf. We also see Alexander back in, Seam as well for Stetson, and Sierra Giorgio strikes it with her left foot. Pack gets fouled from behind.
One of the more positive points that we see here is Coach Matt Mott, when we talked to him on Friday, he said we have defenders ready to go. Even though that first back four has played 96% of the minutes, he has mentioned that they have the defenders that are just ready and willing whenever our name gets called. And you see that here. They've kind of been switching in and out. They've moved some defenders around. You've got England going out, Wolf going out. And you still see that continued determination, that continued brick wall-like almost in that back line. And that's got to give them a lot of encouragement going into the season.
Matt Mott with his trusted staff. Richard Beebe, who's his right-hand man, was at Ole Miss with him. And Jessica Hickey, Hiskey, I should say. Jessica Hiskey sitting right next to Matt Mott. She was an all-SEC defender at Ole Miss back in her playing days. There they are. There's Jessica Hiskey.
And you can't forget Coach Russ, the goalkeeper there on the end, or the goalkeeping coach. He has really worked hard this year on finding goalkeepers to play the style that Coach Mott wants. And you see that. Goalkeepers who are strong, big, can really defend well, and like we mentioned earlier, are able to play with their feet now. So Coach Russ has done a really excellent job recruiting this year.
McNulty circles and gets one away. We've seen 4 goalkeepers tonight. Matt Mott himself, a former keeper. He was telling us, you know, one thing that he really likes about his keepers. He said, I'm a goalkeeper, and some of us, we can be a little high-strung sometimes, a little different. He said, my keepers are normal. They are very level-headed and composed.
And what he really means by that is you've got to be a little bit crazy if you're willing to let someone kick the ball as hard as they can at you. And the fact that Duffy is just able to say, you know what, I've got that crazy side, but I'm going to be composed. I'm going to make sure we see games out. And it's just that another layer that she brings to this OU defense.
A couple more subs. Michelle Pack will exit. And I think we'll see Juliet Rayo back in. We're going to see another long throw in. This one coming from Keller Matisse. It's not the flip throw that we see from Kobe Commandet. And now a corner kick. They say that went off the Hatters with under 8 to play. There's Rayo, as we said, returning and giving Pack a breather. She has really, I mean, there's been a lot to talk about, but you want to talk players that popped when you watch the film from this one. She certainly was one tonight. Was Rayo, Nick.
She's had an extremely successful night, just getting in pockets of space where she can turn and really be successful. So, I mean, she has had one of her better games so far in a Sooner uniform.
Valuable minutes for younger, inexperienced players both ways tonight. And we will see Alyssa Stevens back in. Stevens has been a good story. She's freshman from St. Louis. That win that the Hatters had over FIU, 1-0 win. She had the only goal in it. Eichelbarner, nice job to control that ball. Threads it in toward Rayo, but it's redirected, and running back is McCoy for Stetson. Clifton runs right through that attempted tackle. There's a hard tackle out of bounds by Morgan O'Connor. It sends Mullen tumbling, but she's okay.
And like I've always said, O'Connor, a willing worker. You know, she was on the other side of the field when that play started, and she's just running. She said, hey, they've got a chance to be going forward. We've got to stop that. Excellent tackle. Yes, she gave in throw in, but the work rate is what Coach Matt Mott loves.
And the other thing, and Morgan O'Connor was with Matt Mott at Ole Miss, and then O'Connor went to UCF last year, but suffered an injury. Didn't get to play. And now winds up back with Matt Mott, but now at Oklahoma. But coming off an injury, still the willingness to go and make a play like that. Here's McNulty. Gains the edge. Sent that one across, deflected out of bounds by Kendall Brittingham. I don't know if she's deceptively fast or just fast, because she can get the edge, and you know, she may be as fast as King is on this Oklahoma roster.
You know, last week we had the Corgi races. I would love to see a Sooner race. You know,
McNulty versus King.
And let's throw Washington in there. You know, yeah. let's really make it a good race here.
I'm with you. Matisse sends this one out toward the top of the 18 box. Sooners regroup with under 5 minutes left. Oklahoma long since putting this one away. Had 4 goals, I should say, in the first 31 minutes of the first half. And they had 5 in half number 1, 2 more in the second half. And put this one away a long time ago. The Norman product, Mallory Osborne for Stetson, send this one away. Coker bears down, met by Clifton, taken away, and Avery Stevens will clear it for the Sooners. There's Keller Matisse trying to work it up that right sideline. We may be done with substitutions for the night. 21 Sooners have played double-digit minutes in this game. And Eichelbarner still going as hard as when she came in for the first time. Nearly got that for Oklahoma.
And these are games that coaches really enjoy because you get to have that bench get a lot of these minutes. And so once you start getting into the heat of your season where you may not know when a girl is going to have the next time to play, these are the games that you kind of circle and you kind of say, hey, you know, you got to play 20-30 minutes here and you really showed us what you got. And so these girls really need to just kind of live in this moment here, because as the season starts to get a little bit tougher, they may not get the time. So now's their time to step up. And that's why you continue to see this aggressiveness from OU.
And as a coach, you know, sometimes you don't know until you see a player get some extended minutes. You've seen it in practice, and now you get out there for the first time, you get 15-20 minutes in a match, and who knows?
You know, there's a big difference between being a practice player and being in a game player. And so having this game minutes for a lot of these girls, you're now giving them the ability to say, okay, hey, how do you play in game? It's different when you're getting to play against your teammates in practice. You're playing against girls you don't know. You're really laying your body on the line and saying, hey, you know, are you willing to step up when we need you to step up?
Kaylee England plays this one long right into the arms of Osborne.
You know, when England took that shot there, she kind of looked over at the bench and she kind of smiled at Coach Mott and said, you know, why not? You know, I'll take my chance. We're up 7-0. Why not try to have a shot on goal? And so you kind of saw her giggle there when she took that shot.
McNulty gaining the edge again. A little over the top this time from Zoe Parkhurst. And back the other way with 1:20 left. Oklahoma going to move to 4-1-0 on the season, remain perfect at home. They've scored as many goals tonight as they had in their previous 4 games combined, 7. Stetson's going to fall to 3-2. They had only given up 2 goals this year. There's Matisse looking for an open teammate. She finds one in McNulty, and Rayo couldn't decide who was going to take a swing at that one.
You know, if Sooners can finish out this lead, it is an extremely important stat that they got the shutout. But I think the one that Coach Matt Mott is really going to be interested in is this stat of 4.2. Now, you may ask what that means. They took 30 shots tonight with 7 goals. That means every 4 shots, they're getting a goal. So right there is exactly the stat that Matt Mott is going to circle and be like, listen, we've been more clinical. This is exactly what we're asked for. It's what we worked on these past 10 days. We really saw this game out and we said, hey, we found something we needed to work on. We did it successfully. And that is just going to build a lot of excitement for the Sooners.
Final 5 seconds to an Oklahoma win, and the Sooners remaining unbeaten at John Crane Field. An emphatic 7-0 victory over the Stetson Hatters. 2 goals from Alexis Washington. 6 different Sooners provided the 7 goals combined. Nick, what did you think about it from an Oklahoma standpoint overall?
From an Oklahoma standpoint, this is the best game you can have. You've got a busy stretch. You've got 3 games in 7 days. And so the fact that you were able to rest a whole lot of players and kind of get girls minutes, if you're Coach Matt Mott, this is a dream scenario for you.
And from a Stetson perspective, you've had a very good start to the year at 3-1. Now you're 3-2. How important is it that they don't let this one loss deter them so much?